just want to do a recap of how the Whanagnui Three Bridges went. Friday the 16th, and I did the Whanagnui Marathon last weekend on the 11th of December. And there's the medal for the Whanagnui Three Bridges. Pick and Save sponsors, one of the sponsors. But just wanted to go quick going over it and how the build-up went. Comparing it to Rotorua last September the 17th. After doing Rotorua, I got the letter from Abode World Championship saying I scored highly, and that was good, and I thought, oh yep. So I only had to do one more race, and luckily the last race in New Zealand was the Whanagnui Three Bridges. To gain points towards, you had to do two races and gain points to see if you could score enough points to get an invite to Chicago Marathon. So the race went on the day, so it wasn't feeling good in the build-up and wasn't really good on the day. It was a bit of a shame because the race itself, run by the Whanganui Harriers, it's amazing. No wonder that is one of the ones picked in New Zealand. It's just a really nice place to running through the rivers on a nice day, and the weather was good. It was about, I think, as the afternoon got a bit more into the morning, it started at 7 where it was cooler, but even in the morning I think it got up to nearly like 20 degrees, pretty hot. And so in Rotorua Marathon I was running around, and I felt it real easy running around in the group. Doing a 4.5 minute pace just felt easy all the way, but this was the complete opposite. Because there was only 70 people. See, in Rotorua Marathon there was hundreds in my and the marathon for the Rotorua Marathon, but in this one, Whanganui, there was only 70. There was a few hundred in the half marathon I noticed, but it was only about 70 people or less. I think it was some DNFs, so it was about less than 70. So only the first couple of Ks I was with people, and the rest of the whole run I was pretty much by myself, because it's just when you got that little amount of people running, you just, the speeds just take off and the slow ones are back, and I'm doing my sort of pace. Everyone's got their own pace, and a lot of the time, 95% of the time, just sort of running by myself makes it a lot harder. I found it a lot easier in Rotorua running with the paces, sticking with the paces and chatting with them. But even so, I knew I was nearly going to, right up to about a week, I didn't know if I was actually doing it, because training wasn't going, couldn't get the training in, and I thought I'll do it to take part in it, and also I was sort of half relying on, maybe my fitness over the years to get me through over the last couple of years during Rotorua. But I think the mistake was just too close to do two peak marathons like at my peak pace. I think it's a bit unrealistic to do it within 2 months. I think if I had to plan it for the future, one thing I've learned is really just plan. If you're going to do your marathons and half marathons, really got to plan well from the beginning of the year right through. But you can't be too exact with what you're planning in marathons, because there's always things pop up, injuries, and who knows, the different things over COVID. We were just, no one knew where they were, what they were doing in races. But when I got to about even the first 10 or first lap of the course, because at Whanganui Bridges you run over the 3 bridges, and it's about 10.1 something Ks, and so for the full marathon you do that 4 times. And about the first 10 Ks I knew I wasn't feeling well, but I thought I'll just hang in there, and got about the first lap, about 10 Ks, and I noticed then I was already struggling to even just keep a 4.5 minute pace, going back to 5 minute pace already at that stage. But I tried to bring it back to about 4.5 minute pace, and it was a struggle, because I think it makes a big difference when you haven't done that bit of speed work and you haven't done a good amount of mileage. And I was nearly going to pull out even a week before because of the strange kind of fatigue. I thought I had COVID or something building up to that, and even at the stress of thinking, I'm part of the Abode World Championships, I've got to do good, sort of putting pressure on yourself. But it was good. I think it was really good just to take part, and at the end of the day, don't take it too seriously. When I knew I wasn't going to get the time that I was wanting to do, I still want to keep putting our effort in the middle of the race, but I knew I just wasn't feeling well. That's how it goes, not every marathon's going to go good. But I was sort of struggling away there. and got to about the second lap, and well, I think I finished second lap 21 k's about 41 minutes, and that was a few minutes short of what I wanted to do. And it was getting hot, so it must have been about 20 degrees, and I was taking the gels every half an hour, the Morton gels, and just drinking water on the water tables. But if I had to say one thing, just plan your marathons and your half marathons through, and don't make the mistake of doing like peak marathons too close together. That was one mistake. And if I look back on some of my training, I've actually bring the mileage down. Maybe I need to boost the mileage up, but I think it goes right back to this year and last year and the year before, how much I was doing. I've been doing a pretty lot. If I look back at the mileage I was doing, back from 2020, I was doing 140 k's at the peak mileage, but that's not just on flat. That's also on pretty much all on hills. So if I look back at the mileage but the elevation that I was doing this year and last year, pretty high elevation. If I look on there, 2022, I did 95,000 meters of elevation, so that's a pretty lot. That was this year. And if I look on 2021, I did 98,000 meters elevation. That'll adds up. And the 2020, I did 130,000 meters of elevation. And then getting back to, where else is that? 184,000 meters in 2019. That was like a record high. But so yeah, you can't just say, oh, I've done this amount of mileage and that's how much I've done weekly mileage, 100 k's or 130, 150. Makes a big difference when you're just doing hills too. So at this stage, I'm still happy to really just to be involved, take part in the World Championships. So it was really good, excellently run by Whanagnui Harriers Club. Awesome day, you know. I didn't feel it. I completely collapsed at the finish line. Just so hot, and it just had to just sprawl out on the ground. Just complete opposite of how I felt at Rotorua. So every marathon's different. When it came to, I sort of just jogged along best I could all the way. But when it came to the last lap, about 32 k's before you come over the last bridge, heading back towards the finish line, so it was the last lap, 32 k's, got big cramps in, not the quads, the hamstring, and the cramp, and sort of wobbled against the barrier, the little road railing, and ladies going past said, do you want us to get the marshals and get you some help? I said, I'll just see how it goes, I'll do a few stretching. So I walked for about a minute or so, and it came right, started just, I thought, we'll just see. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh no, DNF, the big World Championships doing a DNF on my second race. I won't get much points doing a DNF. So I thought, no, whatever happens, I'll see how it goes. I started walking a bit, and they came right, but I just had to run at a slow pace. That last lap was just getting it done, slow lap, and finished in 3 hours and 38 minutes. Was definitely not what I wanted, and definitely not happy with that. At the same time, because it came to the day and I nearly wasn't going to do it, but I am glad I was going to do it, just that taking part in it, and it just rounds the year off of doing runs. And this next year, I still want to aim for some PBs, but getting older. But the thing is, it's a hobby, and I enjoy doing my hobby, and I carry on doing it. At the end of the day, I'm not really too concerned about whether I make it to an invite. I would have never gone to Chicago anyway, with all the cost involved. But just to get that the invite, so to make the cut, to make the grade, would be fun and a thing to just to know that you've done that. But a bit of a disappointment getting so close too and not getting it. But at the same time, looking forward to how next year's going, and I'm still got the goal of doing a sub 3 hour marathon, and then I didn't quite make it doing I said I was going to do a 17-minute 5k this year, but I did do PBs in the marathon. Rotorua Marathon did a PB, 3 hours 12, and I got a PB in the 10k. well, official time was 10K in 39 minutes, and official PB in the 5K park run. It was 18 minutes something there. Yeah, but onwards and upwards to next year. Thanks, YouTubers. Let us know in the comments how you're doing. So it's an awesome little medal, and it's really run well because they've got Pick and Say backing them up. The goodie bag was the best I've ever seen, and that was good, and it was a laugh seeing people enjoying the day up there. So that's it, YouTubers. Thanks. Have a
Whanagnui marathon on. I've just got my goodie bag, and it's absolutely sitting there. It's going to be on rain or shine, the lady said. Woo! Here I am over here. Let's have a look at the goodie bag.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight.